I want to talk about something that's serious and silly at the same time. Let's jump to the story. From timcast.com, snip for a shake. Nashville hot dog joint giving out free milkshakes with proof of vasectomy.
That's worth it.
So congratulations.
Whoa. Yeah.
I saw this tweet where this dude was like, your children will be going to school with immigrants and weirdo conservatives,
Right.
because liberals are all removing themselves from the gene pool. I'll just break it down very simply for all y'all. More likely to have an abortion, substantially. Substantially less likely to have kids. Substantially more likely to get hysterectomies, vasectomies, to get whatever it's called, the tubes tied.
Yeah.
Man, we're really the party of fun over there.
More likely to sterilize their own children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just gotta say, the liberal left is very unlikely to exist as an ideology or tribal group in 40 years.
But I agree. I don't know what everybody's getting so worked up about.
Here's the crazy thing.
Not even being a dick. I'm just serious.
Conservatives, the reason why abortion was a guarantee that Roe v. Wade would have been overturned. Anybody in the 90s could have just looked at a simple arithmetic and been like, in 20 years, abortion will be made illegal. Why? Conservatives have kids. Conservatives don't want abortion. Liberals abort their kids. They want abortion to abort their kids. The math is simple. Over a long enough period of time, the voting bloc becomes more conservative and then votes away abortion, bringing back more liberals.
I never thought that would be the main problem with Democrats, is that we aborted all of our voters.
Well, that's why they want to bring in more immigrants. Right. The funny thing is they say that. They're like, we want to bring in more immigrants. We want to strengthen our voting bloc. And then when Tucker Carlson says it, they're like, he's a racist.
Well, of course. That's the magic word. Yeah, of course. Well, even RBG was kind of against Roe versus Wade. I mean, my opinion on it is, different than obviously what my show does. It's sort of do what you do. I don't care. But I just don't think that the way they're going about it right now makes any sense at all.
Well, and when I talk about tribalism and online fighting, how so much of it is fake. And when you actually talk to people who disagree with you in real life, you can figure out that a lot of you actually do want the same thing, because you go on Twitter and it's like, well, one party wants to kill women and one party wants to kill babies. And I think there are still a lot of people out there who they're not pro-choice because they're pro-abortion, but they're pro-choice in like really terrible circumstances. And I think when the left started changing it, I think Libby Edmonds tweeted this, where she had a tweet where it's like when the left stopped saying safe, rare, and legal and started almost bragging and boasting about abortions and pushing the term.
Became, look at all my abortions. It gets a little gross.
Right, and then it's like, all right, well now people are going to go even harder to overturn it. Whereas maybe it was safer when it was.
I want to give you a little bit of pushback, and I'm going to pull up our good friend Shoeonhead.
Oh yes.
With the Ground News Blind Spotter. I'm pulling this up quite literally because it's actually a bit that Shoe did. She was doing an ad for Ground News, and she said you can use their Blind Spotter to show where you consume your news. Shoeonhead on Twitter, 86% of the news that she interacts with leans left. 86%. 86.
Does that mean things she comments on?
Comments
things she
on, shares, and it's like Washington Post. At a link and Charlotte Observer. We'll go back and we'll do, this is what she did. Ben Shapiro. And Ben Shapiro is 40% right, 39% left.
Wow.
Ooh. So this is the issue.
Interesting.
You go to a conservative who's pro-life, and they will explain to you the policy, what they think of Roe v. Wade, and why. You go to a liberal, and they'll say the right are evil and they hate women.
Well, that's what I used to say. I mean, that was the conversation I had with Seamus the first time I came on the show. I was legit. That's why I was asking you and Seamus, Lydia, where I was like, hey, can you tell me? Because I literally just heard if you say you're pro-life at all, you just hate women and you want women to give birth to rape babies and like that's your life. And that it's all about Jesus.
It makes sense that they're more likely to remove themselves effectively from the gene pool. And I'm not saying that to be crass or anything, but it's literally true.